Alright everyone, Cowboy Trades here, welcome back to the channel for another update on Bitcoin. On the channel recently we've been focusing a lot on what is happening in the lower time frames, trades, price targets, and what's happening in the immediate short term, and it's been a while since we've stepped back and zoomed out to the higher time frames. Of course, it's very easy, especially if you're a new trader in these markets, to get very distracted by what happens day to day and week to week in Bitcoin. So when in doubt, zoom out. Let's zoom out to the higher time frame charts and see what is really going on in the bigger picture. Now, I just recorded a very similar video for this over on the S&P 500, and as you can see, S&P 500 macro picture, Heikin-Ashi is heading down, liquidity topped out, and S&P 500 2008 fractal predicting a breakdown. So let's see what's going on over on the Bitcoin chart. So we've got this range established with this red box over here. This was Bitcoin's previous all-time high in terms of the candle wick up here. And then you can see another couple of wicks where we were initially rejected and rejected on the way back down. So let's see how this red box is enacting in the price action at this moment in time. We've talked about this on the channel, but in the semi-lower time frames, we are forming something very reminiscent of a bear flag at this moment in time. We poked our head into this red box where Bitcoin's previous all-time high was, and we didn't even retest Bitcoin's previous all-time high at 19,700. Remember a couple of months ago when everyone was saying, every bull was saying that we will never break beneath 19,700, and now bulls are getting bullish while we're at 16,850, not even pushing up and rejecting from Bitcoin's previous all-time high. This is really a pathetic rally. Every single time we bounce, look at this bounce, huge bounce, breakdown. Look at this bounce. Not as big, but a decent bounce. Look at this breakdown. You know, semi decent bounce, breakdown. Look at this bounce. This bounce is absolutely pathetic. So this is not something I'm personally getting out of bed for whatsoever, but now we've discussed this red box, which encompasses Bitcoin's previous all-time highs around about the December 2017 range. We can also look at what is happening right now in terms of the fibs. Now we've got two Fibonacci's drawn from low to high. First one is the lows of the 2018 bear market, and then the next one is the lows of the March 2020 capitulation. And you can see when we draw both of these fibs, we're presented with 1786 Fibonacci and 1786 Fibonacci over here. What we've done is we've just drawn a nice big orange box to encompass this double 786 Fibonacci region. And what are we doing right now? Well, this is textbook TA, ladies and gentlemen. If you know Fibonacci's, you know that it's extremely bearish to have a beautiful fib from swing low to swing high, and then break beneath the structure, break beneath the 786, come up and backtest the 786, and as soon as you do that and you fail to hold it, that is absolutely curtain. So you can see, yes, in terms of what happened for a few days or so, we poked up and grabbed liquidity from some higher levels. We basically grabbed liquidity from the bottom of this range over here. You know, some of the wicks down here was a tiny bit of liquidity. The main areas of liquidity were right around here, but we didn't even manage to push up that high. That is how weak the market is right now. A lot of bulls are extremely ecstatic, while we are sitting 8.42% above Bitcoin's bear market lows. Or, sorry, 8.76%. You know, whoop-de-doo, who really cares? But you can see on the weekly time frame, we've pushed up to the lower 786 Fibonacci, and we got rejected for 1 week, we got rejected for 2 weeks, and we got rejected for 3 weeks at a time. And at this moment in time, we've broken down, and we're having another tiny rally on the weekly time frame. We're up about 1.69%, and the bulls are swearing that this is the new Bitcoin bull run, and 100,000 is going to be in play by the end of the year, which of course, if you look at economic data, if you look at how the S&P 500 moves, if you understand how the economy works, you understand that Bitcoin follows the general trajectory of the rest of these markets, and the rest of these markets say, no, not happening. So we're basically seeing an absolute slaughterfest right now. Bitcoin, like we've been talking about, you know, if we are looking at the daily just very quickly, you can see oscillators poking up, getting overextended, and we're still sitting in this bearish pennant at this moment in time after grabbing liquidity in the lower time frames. But in the higher time frames, it's just so much more bearish. We are literally sitting beneath Bitcoin's previous all-time highs, and we're sitting beneath this double 786 Fibonacci. And of course, the next major area of support to the downside, if we pull up our volume profiles, is this big old range down here, really starting to kick in at about 10,000. But of course, you can see volume profiles actually do start having a tiny bit of support right here at 12,000. So yeah, like I said, this $12,000 range is a price target that we've mentioned many, many times over on the channel. But really, if we are clearing up the chart and doing TA at its absolute simplest, you can see, this zone over here, all the way down to these lows. This is an absolute magnet range. And I'm not saying we're going down to 7,800. I'm just talking about where this range could take us into. I personally think round about 10,000 is going to be low enough for me to really start aping back into this market. But nonetheless, even if you're very conservative, this 14,000 level right here is an absolute magnet. So before we do wrap up the video, as we did pull up the Heikin-Ashis over on the S&P 500, let's see how the weekly time frame is faring over on the Heikin-Ashis. And you can see this quote-unquote, run-up that we're having on the weekly time frame isn't even recognized on the Heikin-Ashis. It says that we're getting ready to break to the downside, and you can see what happens previous times where the Heikin-Ashis have started to flip bearish. You can see Heikin-Ashi started to, I don't know what my mouse is doing, a little bit weird on the chart right now. Let me refresh. Boom. Reload. Get rid of this. You can see the last time this happened over on the Heikin-Ashis, we proceeded to break down about 47.5%, 47.2%, and then the next time we did this, we broke down all the way here, 60% drop. I don't know why TradingView is lagging so much. Maybe lots of people are using it at this moment in time. This doesn't normally happen. You can see the next time the trend really started to flip bearish, we broke down about 38%. And of course, you can see, a few times in the immediate short term where, we've had these bearish trends ensue, and we broke down a tiny bit, but then we got recovered. But we've already been in a consolidation range. This consolidation range, this mini consolidation range, is the same as this consolidation range before we flip bearish. This consolidation range is also like a smaller, bearish pennant that we've been talking about compared to this higher time frame bear flag when we started rolling down. So weekly time frame tells us that it is absolute curtains at this moment in time, and the monthly time frame, ladies and gentlemen, let us not forget that the monthly time frame has absolutely had no give, and for the past 14 months we've just religiously, month after month after month after month, been getting absolutely battered. Now you can see from the lows of the monthly candle over on the Heikin-Ashis, we are up 1.1%. And, crypto YouTubers, crypto Twitter accounts are swearing that this is the new Bitcoin bull market. But look at this. I keep on telling people this. I keep on saying, do not worry about absolutely aping into every single dip. The monthly time frame, the higher time frames, they'll tell us when it's time to pivot. And I've said this many, many times on my Twitter as well. I am no crypto guru. I don't have a crystal ball. I can't tell you the exact US dollar amount where the bottom is, and I also can't tell you the exact date that the bottom is. What I can do is I can look at these technicals and I can say, hey, if you bought after the bear market was done and we finally started switching into green over on the Heikin-Ashis on the monthly time frame, you had so many gains to be made. And if you started selling, here, break down, started buying back in the green, if you sold here in the red, started buying back when it turned green, then you're going to be in a lot better of a position than a lot of other traders. A lot of people will make fun of you and be like, haha, you missed the first 20% rally, but these people also bought the dip down here and they're down, 48%. They also bought the dip here and they're down, about 5% from here. A lot of people have been buying the dip, and they will laugh at you when you refuse to buy the dip, and they'll laugh at you when you miss the first 20% pump. But if you miss the first 20% pump and you buy, you will be buying at much, much better prices than their average DCA. And of course, getting into Bitcoin in the higher time frames, because I do believe Bitcoin is probably the best thing to hold, the best asset class, in my opinion, to hold for the higher time frames. I do believe Bitcoin is 100% going to hundreds of thousands of dollars in our lifetime, probably millions of dollars in our lifetime. I do really believe in Bitcoin, but I am also a trader, and I do like to make sure that I can buy for the best price possible. At some point, the markets are going to be telling us it's time to pivot. Right now, the higher time frames are telling us it is not that time. That's all I've got for you for this video, my friends. As always, if you do enjoy the content, let me know down below by leaving a like and a comment. Share the videos with your friends, and if you do want more of my content, more economic data, memes and charts while I am away from YouTube, be sure to head over to my Twitter at 618_cowboy. Make sure to come and join the Discord. Link is down below, and also you can find it on my About section on YouTube. All I've got for you for today, as always, it's been your boy Cowboy Trades. I'm out. Peace.